General Hospital, twists of loyalty, secrets, and schemes ignite a summer storm ****. The week of July 28 through August 1 on General Hospital plunges viewers into a storm of crumbling loyalties, buried truths, and emerging conspiracies, where every relationship is tested by betrayal, manipulation, and the weight of secrets long suppressed. As the web of deception stretches tighter, characters once thought grounded are forced into emotional freefall, while others seize power in the most unpredictable of ways. In a city where every secret eventually finds the light, the question is no longer who is lying, but who is willing to destroy everything to protect the truth. At the center of it all stands Michael, torn between his enduring love for Willow and the duty he feels to shield his children from chaos. What begins as a week filled with hopeful anticipation shifts into one of reckoning when Willow suddenly calls off her wedding to Drew. After discovering that Drew used a knife on Nina, whether out of desperation, rage, or fear, Willow's illusion of safety shatters completely. Though she had once chosen to believe in Drew's transformation, this violent act proves unforgivable, and in its wake, she makes a solemn vow. It's unclear whether that promise is one of revenge or redemption, but what is certain is that it involves Michael and their children, perhaps even as a plea for visitation that forces Michael into a harrowing decision. He must weigh whether allowing Willow back into their lives is an act of mercy or a dangerous concession to a woman changed beyond recognition. As Willow's life disintegrates, Elizabeth steps in, offering her home as a temporary refuge. But nothing in Port Charles is ever simple, and the kindness of one woman soon unravels into a new layer of intrigue. With Alexis quietly investigating the emotional damage done to young Scout, she confronts Drew for answers. His vague justifications only enrage her further. Alexis knows the signs of a man falling apart, and she sees them all in Drew, who appears to be losing everything: his fiancée, his daughter's trust, and his grip on morality. Meanwhile, Carly, still struggling with the tension surrounding Jocelyn's relationship with Vaughn, finds herself caught between protecting her daughter and respecting her independence. Anna's warnings have unsettled Carly deeply, especially since Brennan seems to be manipulating Joss into portraying Vaughn as the ideal boyfriend. The entire relationship feels staged, a theatrical illusion designed to serve someone else's agenda, most likely Brennan's. Carly, ever the fighter, tries to voice concern without controlling Jocelyn, but as Brennan's pressure mounts, Jocelyn is left performing a role she no longer understands. Somewhere behind Vaughn's smile lies a shadow Carly is desperate to unmask before her daughter gets hurt. Simultaneously, the streets of Port Charles stir with covert moves and masked intentions. Nina, wounded by the betrayal of both Curtis and Drew, emerges from the rubble not in defeat but with quiet resolve. Curtis, guilt-ridden for exposing Nina's secret to Willow, apologizes, but Nina, surprisingly, forgives him quickly. She had planned to tell Willow herself. The damage was inevitable. Now, she turns her focus elsewhere, perhaps on Drew, perhaps on Willow, but her actions grow increasingly calculated. When Portia offers comfort, understanding all too well what it means to be haunted by long-hidden truths, the two women form a wary but powerful alliance. In another corner of the city, Martin becomes an unlikely keyholder to a mystery with deep roots. A letter addressed to Monica reveals the existence, or reappearance, of her long-estranged sister, a woman whose return could shift the balance of power within the Quartermaine family. As Martin digs deeper, peeling back the veils of the past, he uncovers connections that threaten not only Monica's legacy but the very foundations of those who have benefited from her silence. Secrets that were buried decades ago are now rising with urgency, and Martin knows too well that knowledge, in Port Charles, can be as dangerous as any weapon. Back at General Hospital, Jason continues his quiet crusade for truth. Still haunted by the circumstances surrounding Britt's alleged death, he confronts Liesl, demanding full disclosure. The inconsistencies in her story lead him to Elizabeth, whose access to medical records and insider knowledge at the hospital might hold the key to uncovering what really happened the night Britt disappeared. Jason is convinced Britt is alive, and the signs are beginning to support that theory. As he prepares to bring Anna into the fold, he understands that if Britt truly survived, then someone has gone to extraordinary lengths to erase her existence, and perhaps to control her from the shadows. Emma and Gio, meanwhile, become an unexpected source of turbulence. What begins as innocent curiosity between two bright teenagers quickly mutates into full-blown rebellion as Emma shares sensitive information with Gio. Their target, the enigmatic and secretive Professor Hank Dalton. With bravado and adolescent confidence, they plot to infiltrate his lab, convinced that something there could explain recent strange occurrences around the campus. And perhaps even connect to the broader undercurrents shaking Port Charles. Their alliance, born out of mutual attraction and shared thrill, grows more intense, with danger only tightening their bond. Whether they intend to or not, they're about to uncover something no one wanted them to find. Elsewhere, Rick resurfaces in a surprise twist, taking on a mysterious new client. The identity of this client remains hidden, but the implication is clear. Someone in Port Charles is preparing for a legal battle that could shatter reputations or destroy entire lives. Rick, with his checkered past and sharp intellect, is the perfect weapon for anyone needing a legal advantage, especially if that battle involves family secrets, hidden assets, or criminal cover-ups. The week concludes in a haze of unanswered questions. Will Michael choose forgiveness or draw a line in the sand with Willow? Will Jocelyn break free from Brennan's manipulation or fall deeper into a scheme she doesn't yet comprehend? Is Britt truly alive, and if so, who is controlling her now? Will Emma and Joe's stunt expose the truth, or set off a new chain reaction of chaos? In General Hospital, no revelation exists in isolation. Every truth unearthed reveals another lie, every act of defiance triggers another act of control. What seems like redemption may mask manipulation, and what looks like love might merely be leverage. With each character battling their own storm of uncertainty, one thing becomes clear: in Port Charles, the real danger is never the lie itself, it's what happens once it's told.